Hey, what's up, guys? Matt Modai with OddsJam, and I got some pretty awesome early NFL bets that I locked in myself that I thought would be good to tell everybody about in hopes that you lock it in as well. I'm almost positive both of these bets will end up beating the closing line, so I recommend definitely checking this out, definitely locking these in. If you do, let me know. Would love to hear the feedback. Hit me up at my Twitter handle, Modai_Matt, if you do end up locking these in, but let's get into it. So there are two plays that I saw here that are both on FanDuel, both unders, both 15 cents in market with, as you can see here, that are really, really, really good plays. So just to talk about the math behind each of them first, both of them have a profit margin of roughly 1.6%, which is kind of funny, the symmetry there. But the OddsJam line for both of these has the under priced at minus 122, as you can see here. With the VIG removed, it's priced at about minus 114. So the VIG is essentially just the juice that sportsbooks price of odds. It's how they make their money. So in order to get the true representation of what the OddsJam line prices a play at, it's important to just remove the VIG, so that way you know the no VIG true odds of a play. Prices this at minus 114. Market width is at 15 cents, which is well within range. Anything 25 and below is within range of something that should be bet. Anything that is 15 and below is considered McSlam territory, which is something that I personally would be willing to put the full 5% of my bankroll on. So both of them, obviously, because they're on the positive EV page, they're gonna be good from a math perspective. But just wanted to make sure I talked that through. So the first one that I'll talk about here is the Seahawks versus Broncos. Again, it's under 42.5. Funny, really, really funny matchup here between Russell Wilson and his old team. I like the matchup being in week one. But so what I did was I opened up this link in a new tab, right? And I just want to compare what every sportsbook prices this market at. That's something that I love doing with totals and spreads in football, especially because football and basketball, I should say, because you can find some pretty remarkable discrepancies if you look into all the markets. And that's exactly what I found here. So again, the total we know was on FanDuel at 42.5 minus 110 odds. The OddsJam line prices this at minus 122. So we know just from an odds perspective at 42.5, these bets have positive expected value, right? We know the no vig odds has it at minus 114. The gap between minus 114 and minus 110 equates to a profit margin of roughly 1.6%. But that's not the only reason why I think this is a really good bet. If you look at this screenshot here, just look at the differences between what every other book prices this total at. So the OddsJam line actually thinks this total should be priced at 41.5, which is a full point lower than when we got it at 42.5. Bet Online, which is another sharp sports book, has this priced at 42, so still a half point lower than what we got it at. Every other book, Bet Rivers has this priced a half point lower and heavily juiced towards the under at that number. It's just insane the type of value you can get by line shopping and looking at all of these different totals. So just if you're just looking at this screenshot, this total here, 42.5, is the really clear outlier. No other book it prices this total at 42.5. Even WinBet prices it all the way down at 41, which is a full point and a half lower. So pretty remarkable value getting this at 42.5 at minus 110 odds. And it's similar logic with this next play, the Commanders versus Jaguars, which is another really funny reunion because Carson Wentz goes up against the team that he blew the game in Week 17, or I guess Week 18 in this case. If Carson Wentz had just beaten the lowly Jaguars, Colts are in the playoffs, and he's probably still there. But he lost, and now he has to face them Week 1, which is just hilarious. So this example is another example in which most books price this total lower than the 44.5 number we are getting. Bet Rivers is the only book that prices it at the same number at 44.5, but you can see they still have it more heavily juiced towards the under than FanDuel does at minus 117 odds. Every other book prices this either at 44 or 43.5. So again, pretty remarkable value getting both of these plays where we are. I love locking in some early season NFL bets. I actually already locked these in. I locked this in prior to the video because I'm having some weird location issue with my desktop or with my laptop, but it works on my phone. So I locked both of these in. I put the full 5-unit McSlam on each one. I think they're really, really good bets to make. And football was a really profitable sport for me last year. So I started using OddsJam at the beginning of football season. I had a lower bankroll, which is why the profit is quote unquote only $1,700. This was on a $500 bankroll, so I over tripled my bankroll with just one betting season with the NFL. So my betting strategy for football has been lucrative in the past, and part of it is taking advantage of early lines like this. Obviously, this is the off season, and the games are going to be played for another 2 months. But even if during the season you can use this strategy, when lines come out Sunday night versus some lines come out Sunday night or Monday morning, locking in these early bets where you can find value such as this is really profitable. So here are two that I recommend betting right now before the lines change. Commanders versus Jaguars under 44.5, and Broncos versus Seahawks under 42.5. Lock both of these in. I think they're really good bets. But that's all I got for you. So again, let me know if you're tailing. Love to hear it. Comment on the video. Hit me up on Twitter. And that's all I got. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.